Hello, it's BrickBot, and what a time to be a Tobot fan, where the only one true Tobot is on the shows, with nothing new from Tobot V except the leftovers, and China's just late straggling into the toy line, and some exclusive stuff there. Yep, so it's just absolutely nothing but the good old classic style Gen 1 Tobot. What's this? What's this? A brand new Tobot V release of a redeco of an old toy? A Tobot V in 2024? The return of the greatest Admiral, the Iron Admiral, consisting of Great Admiral and Tank Guy? I gotta review this sudden and unexpected release. Yeah, so I got the 2-in-1 box set. I think this is the first time that any Greatest Admiral was released as a box set. They were only as individuals, although this clear version was also released as individual packs. And I had to find this one in the store because they're pretty marked up online right now, so they're not fully stocked yet. But I guess this is a nice re-rendering of the old stock model with some nice transparent clear they got in there. Yeah, so this is the streaking galaxy style packaging for the background, like reminiscent of the stock photo they use it. Exclusive and limited edition. Yeah, there's also the classic red diagonal striping. But this new word mark logo, it's actually in the same style as the current Tobot packaging style. As with the Tobot logo here. Oh, now. Is it just like a universal thing now? Is just this Tobot logo is just going to be the universal representative of the two generations of Tobot? You know, I thought it was only going to be for the international, but now it's creeping back to Korea's packaging, just using the universal Tobot language, Tobot logo, to not really use the own distinct logos again. Yeah, right on front of the box, the only mention of Tobot V is just this plain text, Tobot V clear version. And like the top of the box is the same, the old Tobot V packaging style, but with the universal Tobot logo. It's kind of hard to get this side of this very long box, but there's the English names Tank Guy and General, just General instead of like Great Admiral, or Great General maybe. Yeah, that might be a good alternative name, besides the Great Admiral and better than Commander Universe. Yeah, this side is the old Tobot V packaging style with a new render of the Greatest Admiral. Yep, same style. But it was really neat, I called this back earlier in my very old review that this is all the Hanja lettering of Kenha-Taejangun. I thought they would do something for 강철대장군, but this is easier to read. Yeah, so on the back side is a long portrait. This could be a good poster. Yeah, there's Tobot V just in plain yellow text. Yeah, nice color blending of red and blue. Nice clear rendering of the two stock photos. Haven't seen this much of Tank Guy though. And you know, the toy may vary from the illustrations. Now for unboxing the Greatest Admiral. And from now on and throughout the entire thing, I will be only calling him by the Greatest Admiral. That's his greatest name. Because he's not invincible. Okay, yep. These are the new display boxes. Tobot Clear, Tank Guy Clear. The storage box with the universal Tobot logo, right? Yeah, you know. And the actual display stands for Great Admiral Clear. The top is the same style as the Tobot Dano Hero platform. Yeah, so much like the other Tobot multi-packs, they just use the same blisters as the individual releases, but put them together side by side in opaque. Yeah, these guys again went in clear. So starting with the General Starship mode. Still love this Starship mode. It's very big. It's a very big, sizable one, but now it's in clear red. And especially the gunmetal has been replaced with a smoky clear gray, so I guess some details get a little lost there, but others do kind of blend in nicely with the clear red, the matte plastic here. Yeah, maybe it might be hard to see some details like the hatch door number 2 here. Oh, and the bottom of the legs, yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see the lining of the little inner greeblings that are inserted into these clear yellow bits. Yeah, that's interesting to see at least. More clear up front, you know, you can kind of see the dragon legs hanging out here, the sword hanging out here. Okay, interesting effect with the clear orange and the black and the smoky. I mean, yeah, this is all clear black on the clear red, so it almost looks solid on the rear thrusters. Yet the bridge is just still painted solid, the same solid whites. Yeah, with the command bridge and the doors for the 2 runways. Of course, this is only a color change. There are no tooling changes. 5 years on, and we still have invisible head syndrome. These clips for a combination would be great for an extra cover piece, which would be quite redundant if that did exist, because that would be a clear piece. So it would just put a red filter right above his still visible face. Yeah, to bring in the 2 starships. Yeah, I guess, you know, the clear red gives it a much more darker red feel. I think the color mapping is pretty similar, except for the solid metallic paint. You know, that can't be the clear plastic. That is a slightly lighter shade of gunmetal than the original gunmetal. Are there any other painted bits? I don't think there are any other painted bits other than the exact same color mapping for the bridge windows and the runways. And, you know, the turtle ship inspired paneling, the black paneling here. I'm gonna have to keep reiterating and restating that this is based off of the turtle ship of Isushi's, loosely. Transformation to robot mode should be very simple and straightforward. Requires just a little bit of part forming on the shield. Oh yeah, and the toe key. Yeah, just hands down, and then it feels fun to fold these in. Oh yeah, you can even see the lining of the front greebling on the side panels here. That do collapse only when these back heels are deployed. Okay, if you want to take a look at the dragon toe key, yeah, it's still that nice oriental style dragon with the opening claw. That's the best toe key on its own. That could be its own standalone little figure. Yeah, it's all cast and clear with the painted flame orange as always. This is an all clear dragon, like it could be an energy dragon. These front panels are solid, but the inner plastic inserts, the inner mounts, the inner caps are clear plastic. Make that what you will. I guess the fins and these side guards are the only ones that are not molded in clear because that's structurally important or just hard to cast in clear yellow. Like, yeah, we have the clear orange, you know, feet, but not these sides. And the clear orange screw mount here. The Great Admiral has a more subdued look with his darker colors of the clear plastics. Especially the white, you know, since it's all clear, it just gives a more ethereal effect. I guess, you know, even though they should be the same yellow, but I guess there's a little more yellow applied here on the paint, on the dragon chest plate. Yeah, so at a distance, it looks as pretty good as the standard version. You may or may not be trembling at the thought of a nearly entirely clear plastic transformer, especially at this size, but I trust Young Toys that they have a good formula and solution here. And also, this, you know, all the load-bearing joints are actual plastic, you know, not actual clear hinges, so this will be sturdy. So I guess the main draw of having a wholly clear figure like this is just you can see the internal mechanism, just or at least the insides of it. Like, the back of his legs, that would usually be white. You can kind of see the inner waffling here. You can imagine these are like storage spaces or some place to put in faux circuitry. Yeah, I guess a double clear backpack doesn't do much. But you can see the little spring here at least. The spring that is for the collapsible nubs for this removable backpack piece. Yeah, so that's a little thing you can see and kind of enjoy springing. Yeah, so on the inside of the leg, you can kind of see that the sliding joint coming in like that. Yeah, nice. You can see that that's a big plastic clip that just kind of flexes in and clicks in. That's cool to see in action, at least. And the knees. Yeah, you can see those are those unpaintable reds. Okay, it's kind of hard to see where the ratchet teeth are on this leg. Yeah, but you can kind of see the left and right molding letters on there, you know, so you can tell which side is which. And then, yeah, so hard to see where they are in the ratchets too, but in the central area you can see the gear hips. I don't know if you can see on the back here. Okay, maybe you can't see the perfect joints on everything here, but... So, in his other shoulders, not the main friction-only shoulders, you can see the spring there. You can see the spring that pushes in. As this shoulder joint ratchets. And you can see the two springs that's putting tension on this combiner shoulder connector port. What about the elbow? You can kind of see the little gear ratchet that's mounted in there. Kind of hard to see any action on this side. It would be nice if I can see how this neck joint auto locks in the 90 degrees. It was really hard to see there, but you can kind of see there's a rotating axis here, but still not exactly easy to see exactly how is the plastic configured so that it locks in perfectly like this. I think the eyes are painted a more metallic this time around. Which actually does kind of get lost in the clear plastic compared to just the pretty solid painted blue eyes. Same painted white face, though I think... Yeah, actually his cheekbones are still pretty visible, those cheek lines there, but... Maybe I would have preferred if this was unpainted, just to have that same feeling with the rest of the figure. And a clear face would have been slightly more accurate to the show, not that this thing is accurate anyway. Of course, this clear version is still a straight redeco from the old one with no extra tooling changes. Why would you expect that? That means you still have to face the little minor problems that kind of reduce the playability, enjoyability. Like the sword, and that lighter gunmetal. Looks kind of cooler and clear. Like energy sword, but it holds, but that's a little floppy because, you know, bigger combiner hand. You still have to deal with a shield that kind of lightly mounts on the shoulder here that kind of puts in between the slots that is easily toggleable. And you might be even a bit more worried because this is flexing clear plastic, which this might not have as good of a grip as if it was just solid plastic, slightly less. Maybe this is slightly better if it flexes off rather than kind of like snapping off. And of course, he still does not have any forward shoulders, just always outward or slight elbow bend. He also, clear nub on a clear plastic clip is, you know, that might be a bit problematic. Yeah, I feel like this one connection for the Dragon Toe key might be a bit loose, so I guess you have to be just a bit careful with this one. I mean, as long as you're not doing something that would intentionally break it, I think it might be fine, but still. Now we have Tank Guy in clear blue. I guess this could be his canon camouflage mode. He has a camouflage mode, so this could represent that. So then I guess the Great Admiral clears, like Tank Guy's powers also channeling through him. Some sort of story explanations for clear versions. But yeah, it's also a different feel, especially with the white to clear, the same, subdued feeling. Pretty rolly. Although I think this one's kind of slightly clicking with the carpet. Yeah, it's the carpet. Although this rolls pretty fine, smoothly, while this one gets caught on the carpet. What's with that? Yep, there is a tiny bit of flash molding that's significant enough to make this bumpy. The sprue wasn't properly cut on this little caster wheel. Clear undersides. Anyway, I still love the tank details, the little tank details that are molded and painted here, like these little sidebars and these plating, the diagonal platings. Some more guardrails here, I guess 2 little hatches, I guess, for 2 people to ride in, and then 2 miniguns at the side. Yeah, and of course these plates are molded in clear, well, this was, plastic inserts and paint. Yeah, all the paint here is, the paint maps here, they're all here. Nice silver painted inside tank treads. And the front bars here. Tank Guy transformation. You can see the nice little shoulders here, the clear shoulders as you unlatch those, rotate those. Slide that out. Move those out to the side. Ooh, clear. All the clear paneling here, and then just double knee that. Then yeah, double hinge out. Honestly, just very interesting that they have an entire pin just for a sliding rail. With the little clear nubs you can see there. And now that you can see actually get pushed in and inserted thanks to the clear plastic. Clickety clickety. Tank Guy clear version, robot mode in his camouflage mode. Yeah, just imagine this blending in with the deep sea blue. Yeah, this looks overall more brighter, just lighter. I guess an inverse effect. Because, this clear Great Admiral looks darker than the original, but this looks lighter than his pretty metallic blue. It's easier to see Tank Guy's inner workings than Great Admiral's. Going down to the legs, yeah, there's the red pieces that make up his hip. Yeah, always this classic clicking design, this clicky ratchet design. And then coming to his knees, you can see, I guess you can kind of see how that lower knee joint is mounted here. Then on the back, you can see you could just see those little ratchet joints, how they're just splitting. They're just splitting, like they're little choppers. You can even see the oily lubricant in there. It might feel a little icky if you ever decide to disassemble these, but it's there just so that these things move smoothly and they don't get rusted up. Yeah, now you can kind of see the ickiness. You can actually see the ickiness for yourself. Just fascinating. It's kind of like an anatomy thing. Listen to that squishiness if you can. Not so much visible on this other side, but it's still kind of gooping. Right in the middle of the torso, you can see just a pretty clear torso and the screws that make it up, and the back. This is the solid red plastic. I assume that's the same joint plastic. Still pretty hollow back. Okay, I guess there is one thing that was left unpainted compared to the original, and that's the silver vents on here. Not too much of a biggie, but then you can see the little extra screw holes there too, and the pinholes. You can see all the screws and pins on his toe key and head combination mounted on a clear plate. Oh yeah, let's split him. So now you can see a better looking at his inner workings here. Yep, that's very fun to see. Very fun to see this tried and true ratchet system. And then his shoulder sliding joint here. No, okay, that's just the rotating shoulder mount and the hinge in there. And I guess a little press nub just to lock his toe key in. Although clear clips, so this probably does not have a good secure connection, but at least there's the solid red ones. If you move stuff out of the way, you can see the little clicker joint, the spring click that locks the shoulder in place when sliding in vehicle mode. And the aforementioned pin sliding lockers. You can't exactly easily see his arm joints in action. They are still very clicky. At the almost 90 degrees, that's pretty obtuse though. Yeah, you see this red spring, but you can't see much anything else. Nor can you see the bicep swivel entirely encased in there. At least you can see there's a little red plate that sandwiches between the two, halves of the tank treads. And I guess screws for the fingers. You can kind of see the fingers in there. Yeah, I guess the entirely clear blue, the same color as the rest of his body instead of just the eyes, kind of give it a different ethereal feel. And also, you can see there's more gold in his rhino horn since, to recap, is the back-mounted head crest toki. So the gold is painted in there, so that does show through instead of just a solid black. Which does give it a nice G1 Dinobot feel effect. And for his tank barrel cannon, you can see the wiring in here at least. Yeah, the red and black wires. It's a very slight press of the button, so it's kind of hard to see how that would complete the circuit. Don't shine this in your face. I have no idea how a UV reactive clear plastic would actually work, if this would actually show up. In the original tank guy, his clear blue parts were designated to his fists that are his tank tail lamps, like a tank need tail lamps, and the front lights, and his light piping eyes, but those are all lost in the all clear blue version. Yeah, so just don't forget that. Don't forget he had these distinct clear parts. So again, I always enjoyed the tank guy more than the Great Admiral just because of more playability and articulation. Reintegration! Just blow up tank guy. Yeah, remember, these are the... Okay. Yeah, so fold those out of the way to form this side of the arm. And then detach that. Yeah, so just good old, just useless kibble hanging off to the side. Arm, and then feet. Little clear black mounting point, and okay, this is a structural hinge, so you might feel a little very tense and uneasy just folding this and then clipping it into all clear clips. Foot. And then, yeah, again, this side was a bit more tense, I guess, somehow. This is... Okay, this is not quite budging. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm afraid. Okay, I did it. Do you see any stressing yet? Yeah, so other foot. Form boots. Then slide those thrusters down so that they match with the feet, and this one decision just kind of curses any budgeted version of this to have the legs permanently sliding down like this, just being unable to form an individual, just only combined mode. That's a curse. That's a design curse. Of course, they just turn those little arms into bigger shoulders. And then, yeah, I prefer just moving one of these flaps back while you mount that clear. That is a clear nub. That really is a clear nub. As you slide this forward. And then the sword handle, that optimally for tank guys' hands, not so much for Great Admiral's hands. Then flip out little port for the barrel and shield combo. Now you can see the tank barrel in there. Now he is the greatest Admiral, the greatest Iron Admiral. Dang it, just imagine this head crest is behind him for this entire review, which kind of gets lost in there with the clear plastic. Yeah, pretty simple combination of, you know, one big guy gets the little guy's arms and boots. But it works, and also the clear version, I guess, it does have a bit of a coolness factor to it. Again, I keep thinking ethereal or stealth mode or camouflage mode, like, now that Greatest Admiral has tank guy's stealth powers as well. Yeah, really, just tank guy just gives him slightly better arms. Slightly better posable arms, and then slightly bigger height. And that's about it. You know, this is an everything piping Tobot now, so it would look best if you put this against the seating light. Although I guess I would be kind of hesitant to just display this, like either the single or the combined on this pretty hollow box, you know, because of sharp points. I don't know if that's going to cave in, so if you want to use these, just fill it with something. Fill it with wood. I guess this storage box for just tank guy is also in a single release, so I guess this is good for storing the instructions, and also his loose accessories are just going to be knocked off anyway. Yeah, so extra storage boxes, reassembled storage boxes, yay. In the current Tobot style. Well, this was a very unexpected and surprising release. Right in August, just around the time that I believe that the original Greatest Admiral set was released 5 to 6 years ago. Yeah, so this is also essentially a reissue since the standard version is not on the market, only the clear version. So anyone who missed out on those original versions and want a new inbox, yeah, this is a good chance to get it, although, you know, it's the clear plastic conundrum. Maybe Young Toys wanted to do their own Hello Carbot All-Stars, just starting with Greatest Admiral. Clear versions of old favorite characters. And this is the first time ever for Korea that they actually did a special, non-canon, special color change version of a Tobot V toy. Yeah, the original Tobot had their plenty share of special colors, but Tobot V did not see a single special color except for a one-off merchandise super racing, but you know, that's not a mainline toy. I guess the logic for getting a clear version is just applies to most other clear versions. It's a rare limited edition, but this is probably the only run they're gonna do of this. Then maybe it looks prettier. It's just a special feeling, it's just the novelty of clear plastic. And in the case of larger Tobot toys, I think there's also a nice little feature just looking at the inner workings of the springs and ratchets, which is actually advertised. Yeah, so unlike, you know, just clear Transformers, which, you know, you don't have that much substance because what joints are you gonna see through clear plastic? Pins? Just pins and mushroom pegs? That's it? Yeah, but with large Tobot toys, you see the luxury that Transformers don't have, the clear ratchet joints. So that is one extra benefit of having clear plastic in giant toys. Clear, high-quality plastic. Yeah, whatever clear plastic Hasbro's using is, you know, just only good for small things and non-structural hinges. Because, you know, but, you know, since gang molding is a thing, you know, people still don't like clear plastic on Hasbro Transformers, but it's fine on Tobot. Yeah, so for overseas collectors, if you missed out on the original Greatest Admiral duo like 5 to 6 years ago because that all sold out, or you can't quite find the international GD versions for an affordable price you like, or you just want the clear version, there's another chance to get this mold, even if it's clear. I assume this will only be sold in Korea. I assume this is not going to go out in the international markets. Because your only other option of the Greatest Admiral or Invincible, it's a Chinese version. I still like the Chinese version just because it's smaller and just fits in better with Generations, but... Wouldn't it be crazy if Lee Mao also did these specific modes in clear, just for the sake of it? And the final talking point, Tobot V in the middle of Tobot Dado Heroes Renaissance. How dare they bring back Tobot V? You think they'd bring it back as a desperation if Tobot Dado was actually failing? Young Toys should only have one series at a time. Okay, honestly, I guess I really don't care if there's Tobot V and Tobot Dado's hero existing at the same time, or the fact that Tobot V exists. You know, I'm just playing up the Tobot V slander as an in-joke. Just a lighthearted joke. It's a running gag. If you're still mad about Tobot V for the fact that it existed, just get over it. Yeah, so I wasn't exactly sure after Young Toys 2022 disaster, just if the Dado's Hero revival could turn things around. It just very slightly improved their sales, but not quite enough, so maybe that plays a factor in bringing back the old Tobot V toys. Yeah, but I guess I honestly don't mind if, you know, there's both of these two generations of Tobot at the same time, just except the branding. You know, it's just both of the Tobots are just gonna be under this logo. So yeah, maybe I just wish they could separate the branding. I mean, Young Toys themselves is endorsing the current cross-continuity play, you know, as most kids do. It's mostly the lore-insistent grouchy grown-ups that insist these must be separate. But if it's a thing where the Tobot V toys can constantly sell for their coolness, like just giving us steady cash flow for Young Toys while Young Toys can kind of experiment with the more original and true Tobot stuff, then I guess that could be a good viable business strategy. Honestly, the biggest beefs that Tobot G winners have with the Tobot V is just a story. It's just a super simple cartoonish story that has with, you know, the pretty deep Tobot story. And of course, there's still the side that only looks at the Tobot toys, but you know, I've said that so many times. Well, then just make your own story. Just make your own Galaxy-themed stories, but still have some good heart, some good elements of the original Tobot. Just, you know, Tobot V's over. The Tobot V story is over since they're not going to continue that story for the foreseeable future. So just make a better story. Just make space Tobots, but that actually feel like these actual Tobots. If you can actually do that. Biclons kind of did it. So it's a bit weird that they started with the greatest Admiral as their first Tobot V miter comeback. So I guess we could expect a clear version of the big troll. Yeah, imagine this in smoky black and crystal green. And it's very likely they'll do a clear Master V. Just imagine this Master V in the nice sparkly colors this one has. I guess it would be nice if they also reissued some of the single Tobots. The single Galaxy Tobots, you know, since those are sold out a while. Starting with the Captain Police, because guess what I'm going to be reviewing soon? I'm finally going to get the not mini version of this guy.